Good morning, guys. I'm here with Geoff and Agrippa. We're going to work on right side basic position. Rewards for engagement. So one of the problems that we had with Agrippa is that he would sit behind Geoff's leg. So what we're going to do is we're going to implement an obstacle in the luring, and that way the dog can't put his body physically behind Geoff's leg. So Geoff, give me a try. Make sure you're straight. Yep. Good. And Geoff is as crooked as a banana. So let's put Geoff straight a little bit. And try that again. Good. So try to hang on, guys. I'm gonna put Geoff completely straight. There you go. And now that is straight. And now let's try that again. And as you can see, that picture looks a lot better. Good job. Nicely done. Let's do that again. So what is important here is that we give the dog the time to spin around and set him straight. So Geoff was a little bit fast in his luring here, so let's try that again. So there we go. The dog is straight and then comes straight into the lure and into the position. So we're going to do that again and then end with the dog in a sitting position rather than a standing position. I'm just rewarding here for the dog maintaining position. Yeah. And that is Geoff's fault because now he's leaning over. Good job. So body mechanics are incredibly important when we are luring and we're teaching or we're using luring as a teaching tool for muscle memory of the dogs. So we need to make sure that our body mechanics are correct, because eventually luring transitions into a visual cue, and so if we mess up the lure eventually, and the behavior that is attached to that lure is going to transition to the visual cue and becomes muscle memory for the dog. So we need to be careful that our mechanics are good, and so if we have trouble with the mechanics, we need to train that dry. And the way I train that is in front of a dressing mirror. That actually looks really good. Give the dog a little bit of a break and let's switch sides. Let's do the same thing on the left side.
On the left side?
Yeah. And again, he's as crooked as a banana. And that, I mean the handler, not the dog. And then make sure that the dog is in a sitting position. So now we're repeating the basic position on the left, and the same rules apply. That luring was wrong, and as you can see, there's about a 30-degree lean over from Geoff. Okay, let's do that again. So often it is luring and handler's problem and not a dog's problem. Good job. And again, Geoff is really crooked, so I'm going to put him straight. There you go. Now Geoff is actually straight. Yeah, and now you can see that the dog and Geoff are absolutely perfect. Good job. Give him a break and let's switch to the right side again. And Agrippa wants to do the obstacles. That's actually very nice. So in this exercise, what we see is that the dog tries to use the object as an aid. So the way we can prevent that is I'm going to have Geoff reward the dog and step out, is to put Geoff's foot maybe an inch or so outwards of the obstacle, and that way a correct position for the dog is, and then make sure your feet are straight because you're crooked as a banana. There you go. Let's try that again. You see? And now the dog is a little bit straighter. And then Geoff lures the dog here too much towards the spool, so his hands should be in a straight line. Yeah, you can see this is a lot better because the dog wasn't leaning onto the spool when the dog came in. So let's give that another try. And again, that was a faulty one because there was too much movement towards the spool. So we're gonna reward the dog for staying in position, and the position, you know, is absolutely straight. It looks fantastic, as you can see. So there's no leaning at the knee, only when he rewards the dog comes up a little bit. So let's practice that coming in straight one more time. Nicely done. Good job. So I hope you guys like this little lesson, luring for basic position and right basic position. Go practice that, and I will see you in the next session. So here we are in another session with Agrippa and Geoff. This is a voiceover. The original audio went kaput. So in this session I am using a cooler, and you can literally use any equipment that blocks the space behind your legs. And here Agrippa is distracted, and I told Geoff just to ignore the dog and reward for coming back and checking in, which is very important still in this stage. So I told him to reward, and Geoff makes his first luring attempt, and what went wrong is that he went way too fast in the corner. So when the dog is turning, when his hand is completely extended, that went way too fast. So I told him to slow down. And the reason why I asked him to slow down is so the dog can align himself completely straight, so that after the turn he comes in a straight line into basic position and finds the leg. So the other thing that I'm telling him here is that his reward is a little bit too slow. And this, the position is nice, and you could see that Agrippa was adjusting because of Geoff's hand movement here. I want to show you a different perspective here. And as you can see, the dog is not leaning into the cooler, which is very important. And then you can see that the dog had a perfectly straight position. And so the point that you just saw here, that turn, that needs to be done slowly, so the dog understands that he needs to align himself straight before coming into the basic position. And then watch your reward placement, so that's good. So that you put your dog's reward straight down in front of his nose, so that his head position is also straight up. So another round, second session in the training block. And a little early here with the reward, because the dog wasn't completely seated and wasn't calm. And the same thing here. That is perfect. And this, the last one that you saw was actually really good. The turn was slow, the movement towards the basic position was straight, and then we had a perfect sit. And again here, really good. So now Geoff is going to try to do that without food in his hand. And that went really well. What you can see is that without the lure, the dog's head position is a little bit different than with the lure. It is slightly bended to the left, a little bit looking at Geoff. But that's good for now. We're going to show you this from the side. There you go. And then this lure without the food eventually transitions into the visual cue. And we're going to show you this from the back so you can have all angles covered. And as you can see, the dog is not touching Geoff, nor he's touching the cooler, which was the goal. And this was a little bit faulty here from Geoff. He does good stepping out and getting the dog's attention. Yeah, straighten the dog up. And again, here there's a small gap, a little bit premature in the reward. And training session 2 is over. We're going to give the dog a little bit of a break. We're going to do one more session. And here that was a lure with food in the hand. And in this particular stage, I like to alternate and then fade out that lure completely and fade in the visual cue. A little bit premature here from Geoff as well, because the dog wasn't sitting, but after the dog corrected himself and went into a sit, he rewarded appropriately. And so the same techniques apply for basic position to the left, of course. It really depends in which country and which dog sport that you're doing. In Belgium, for instance, heeling is done always to the right in the Belgian ring sport and NVBK sports. And here in the United States and in Schutzhund sports all over the world, basic position is done to the left. Good. So Geoff has his right foot out, and the reason why he has his right foot out, so we're teaching the dog to always find the right leg in this instance, so we can reinforce the correct position, and that correct position is the dog's left shoulder aligning with our right knee, and then sitting in a straight position looking up at the handler. So I told Geoff that he's a little bit crooked here, and asked him to redo this one more time. This is a lot better. So good. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Look out for the next one. Apologies for the original sound that went kind of kaput. But thanks a lot for being here. Thanks a lot for all your support and continuous support. Without you, I won't be able to, do these videos. So I appreciate it a lot. Welcome to the new people, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.